Alright, so I decided to share some simple tips about mascot costumes. First of all, the first tip is when you first get them, they come in a box, and if they're this big, it's going to be pushed into itself, so it's going to be completely out of shape. So the best thing to do is turn it upside down and stuff it with blankets and pillows or whatever you have that's available, and just leave it like that for a few hours, and then it should shape fine. This is what it looks like right now. The bad thing about it is it's so huge and it's completely hard to store. So what I did was use the material. I actually have this material already, which is perfect because it's like I don't even know how to explain. I can't even think right now, but it's kind of plasticky, but not really. Kind of like a shower curtain type material. So all I had to do was measure out how big I wanted it to be, and I wanted it to be a little bit bigger than this minion and a little bit wider so that it could slide in easily. And then all you have to do was sew it into a large rectangle, and this is what it looked like. And then you just turn it inside out so it makes a nice little sack. I have not made a drawstring for it. I was going to just fold it like this and sew it and put a string inside. You could also use Velcro, where you can just flap it over and Velcro it closed. For now, I just didn't do anything, so it's just a simple sack that I just stick on top and keep it nice and stored away from everything else so it doesn't get dirty, especially if you have animals. You'll get dog hair and cat hair or anything all over it. So it's best to store it into a sack, and then you could put it in the corner of your room or wherever you need to put it. My second tip is, you can see how easy it is to look inside this eye. They did stick a little bit of fabric in here, so this isn't going to be good enough. What I'm going to do is use this. It is a sock, but if you have pantyhose, you can use that. Basically, you can see right through it. So I'm going to cut it and then stick a piece of it there, stretch it out, and then I have some spray adhesive that works really good that I'm going to put on the inside. You can sew it on, whatever you need to do. If you don't have any pantyhose or anything like that, there's no need to go all the way to the store and buy one. If you happen to have fabric like this, it's kind of like the tutu fabric, you can stick it in there. Obviously, white is not going to work, so black would be best, but if you don't have black, you can use your white one. If you have an ink pad, which a lot of this stuff you guys probably don't have lying around, but you know, some people do. If you're very crafty, you might already have stuff like that, which I do. So if I did not have that pantyhose or that sock, dress sock, I would use this, and then I would just dab it into some black ink, let it dry, even spray it with sealant. Like I said, I have that stuff already. That's just easier for me to do. I mean, you can go to the store and just buy this little piece. It's very cheap for this material. It's super cheap. It's like $1 for just an entire yard. So anyway, you could put this, dab it in ink, let it dry, seal it, and then stick it in there, stretch it, and then glue it. You can use a hot glue gun or whatever you need to stick it in there, so that you cannot see inside. That's just one tip for the minion costume. If you happen to have a costume like Mickey Mouse or Cat Boy Eyes, you can still see inside. So with this one, the first tip is, you can see how it's white right here. So what you're gonna do is get a permanent marker, so you can use your marker and paint it black so that you can't see that white spot. Now, you can still see inside the eyes because it has that same fabric as the other one. So with these, if you're not going to use one of these other techniques, what you can use is sunglasses. If you have an old pair of sunglasses that's broken and it's just sitting there, you can pull out the lens and then you can super glue it into the inside, and then you can see through it. So that's perfect. Also with Mickey Mouse, he does have a mouth, and you can see inside. In fact, with this one, you can stick your hand inside, which is great because, you know, if you need something to drink, you can just use a straw. But if you're not going to be wearing it that long, then you might want to cover it up if the mouth is bigger than this. This one's not a problem, but some mouths are really wide. I think, Yeah, this one has, yeah, I think this one might be a problem to where you can use that black netting to cover it up. Okay, so let's see. The other tip I have is if you have a costume like Minion has gloves that are not attached to the shirt. Okay, and so the problem for me on this is my arms happen to be a little bit longer than this sleeves. It's not that big of a deal, but enough that if I use my hands to like wave or something, my skin will show, my wrist will. So a good tip is if you're not planning on taking the outfit off like to eat or anything, or to use the restroom and wash your hands, you could sew them together like that. But if you're planning on being somewhere for a long time where you know you're gonna have to go to the restroom and things like that, you can use Velcro, and then you can just Velcro the inside of here to the rim of this. That way, when you do need to take your gloves off, you can just open it right up, and then whenever you want to go out and wave around, and if you need to go greet people and wave your hands, you won't be able to see your wrist. And then, if you happen to be going outside where it may be raining, I know with my luck it's always raining on Halloween. I plan on using this costume for Halloween this year, but if you're just planning on going inside a house and it may be raining outside and you just need to get from inside to outside covered without getting this nasty, you can use cling wrap. And you could just cover the shoe in cling wrap, and then when you get inside, you can take it off. Or, you know, you can always just wear your shoes, and then once you get to the door, switch out your shoes. But then you'll have to leave your shoes outside, and you don't have to worry about remembering to get them before you leave. So it's just kind of easier just to throw on the cling wrap, and then either save it into your pocket or throw it away, and I don't know, not worry about it later, whatever, I don't know. All right, and so my last tip is if you're wearing a costume that is going to be with a body and not just something solid like this, and your costume is going to be flat because maybe you're just really tall and skinny, or you just don't have the belly to fill the costume, you can always make one. If you don't have padding, you can just get a piece of material, cut it into an oval shape, and then stuff it with stuffing, and then maybe put an elastic strap around it, and so that way you can just slide the belly on. If you do have padding, so I have this padding that was from a bed a long time ago, so all I need to do is cut out like an oval type shape, and I could just slide that into the spot that I need it. You can also buy this. It's for reupholstering like seats and stuff. Only thing is, it's about $7, so I don't know if you really want to spend that much, but if you don't mind it, I mean, it's not too much. You can buy it at Walmart and then just cut out like a belly shape and then slide it into the spot that you need it. But I do recommend just making one out of fabric and then putting some stuffing in it and then using an elastic to slide it on. All right, so that is all the tips I have today. If you guys can think of any extra tips, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Or if you have any questions, just let me know. I would like to help. All right, I hope you guys have a great Halloween, or wherever you're going, a happy party. Just enjoy yourself and be confident in your outfit, and I hope that these tips helped you. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Bye.